Hey everyone, welcome to the Cast and Spirit podcast. My name is John. Today I'm joined by my friend Joy Rika from joyrika.com. She also goes under the handle Spiro Joy on Instagram. And today we're going to be doing a deep dive. This might be a little bit more intermediate advanced type techniques on how to de-stress, because we want to make sure that you're going into the water in your best self so you can dive better, dive safer. Joy, welcome back to the show.
I love that. Getting the water as your best self.
I'm just throwing
Thank
out some
you.
marketing fodder for you. No. But I really do think that there's a lot of, I look at people as kind of like a stone, and you can, depending on what chisel and hammer you bring to it, you can kind of refine yourself over time. So I feel like one of those tools is yoga. It's helped me quite a bit. So I was just curious if you can do some deep dive into that kind of concept of like how yoga and other tools that you've learned over the years from the ancient times and all your studies can help us get better at diving.
All right. So what I love about yoga itself is that it comes, from ancient times. It comes from ancient wisdom. It comes from times where there were still pandemics, there were still wars, there were still, neighborhood tiffs and bills to pay and things that would stress people out. And even when there were things to stress people out, there were ways, tools, and techniques to calm the mind with. And more recently, especially with yoga therapy and how it's been taught in the West, we're the West right now. It's been developed and used on a very more personal level, so that people can use these ancient tools to have calm and peaceful lives now, and or have deep stressed lives. And hmm?
Yeah, so I was just gonna go deeper into that. It's like there are tools. Do you have one or two that really stand out to you that are kind of like your default go-to if things are crazy in your life, or ones that you think give you the most bang for your buck? And what can people do at home to try it?
All right. One of my favorites is what we call Longana breath, or just a relaxation breath. We'll call it relaxation breath. And this is something that I can use while driving in traffic. So, in Los Angeles, we can sometimes experience that little bit of gridlock or bumper to bumper, and just, there's nothing you can do about it. So I used to get upset. Like, before yoga, I did used to get like, oh my God, why is there so much traffic? There's nothing you can do about it. But you can do breath work. You can focus your attention on your breath, and you can use that time to your advantage now. And so one of these techniques, you can also use the same breath. We're going to call it relaxation breath right before you go to sleep. Like if you're having trouble going to sleep and your mind is racing a little bit, you may want to use this breath work practice in in bed when you're sleeping or trying to get to sleep. You can also use it at any time when you just feel like, I need to relax just a little bit. I feel stressed. So it's called relaxation breath. And what we want to do is basically take your exhales twice as long as your inhales. So a beginner may start off with a 3-second inhale, 1, 2, 3, and a 6-second exhale. And since a lot of people in your spearing community, if they're listening, if you are a spearfisher, you may have a longer breath hold. So you may be doing a 5-second inhale and a 10-second exhale.
And I think this also works, not just for Spiros, or Spiras. It works for anybody. So I think I also kind of want to say that these tools that are on dry land, if you just are curious about spearfishing or free diving and you just do regular fishing, try it anyways. Like why not learn how to de-stress and improve your life? I love the long exhale. I think my mother-in-law always tries to see how many breaths do I really actually need to take per minute. So she's like, "Oh, I could do 2 breaths in a minute and and be normal." And I'm like, "Wow, that's pretty good." So you can really kind of over time, once you practice, get up there. And your heartbeat goes down lower, and overall just kind of more chill.
Oh, there's so many fascinating things that there's to be said about breathing. I mean, have you read that The Oxygen Advantage or
Is
Breathe?
that also by James Nestor?
No, Oxygen Advantage is by I think he's a Patrick McGowan.
Well, I have done some pretty interesting breathing workshops. Some of them were they're crazy. If you if you look at it from the outside and you're not kind of in that Burning Man world, which I'm kind of from SF for I was in SF for a time, so I just see a lot of crazies. But there are things
Like the
where
holotropic breath.
is that the one where you're breathing deep breath in and out, almost like you're hyperventilating, but you're doing it for like
Yeah, that's
20 minutes and your hands
yeah.
start to get all like look like monkey claws and you almost reach a level of nirvana that's insane. But the first, say,
Yeah.
5 minutes, you will feel like you're gonna die. Like you're just like, what's going on? Your body just is like over oxygenated, just going, does it's freaking out essentially. And then all of a sudden you break through this wall and you're like, oh wow, this is insanity of awesomeness. But I don't know, is that even healthy? I'm not even sure.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of it's neat to experiences again. It's yeah, that to me I really would relate to peak experiences, and I think if you learn something from it, then that's great. For me, it's about finding a sustainable path to to living a peak experience all the time.
That's awesome. So what other tool? I think we covered, you know, the it's not so it's short in or not short in, but duration in, then two duration longer out. Is there another tool for the breath work that helps people?
For de-stressing, I was gonna offer not a breathwork tool for de-stressing, but body scanning is one tool that I use often in the water and out of the water. And what that is just allowing your whole body to completely relax. And what I can do is I can offer it with anybody who's listening now is just go through that meditation as a separate guide, and they can download and listen to it outside of this podcast. Is doing body scan as meditation allows you to focus and relax each part of your body in kind of a systematic way. And when you're about to dive, it's kind of a nice way to make sure that you're actually relaxed in your body, not being too tense. And when you do this body scan, in your bed, not this one you don't do as much in your car because you do need, your muscles to stay alert. You're just allowing each part of your body to really melt and relax.
That'll be amazing. I will put a link to that video or that audio in the show notes. I think with those two tools, and I know there's a bunch more that you've uncovered, but I always like to say like tools are only as good as the framework that you put them around. So do you have kind of like a super basic beginner's framework that, you know, just with those two tools or with, whatever combination you want that somebody can follow for a week just to try this out? So it's like, 3 times a week, just do the body scan and then see how you are after that week or, set duration. Is there something that you can offer to give a little bit more structure around when somebody should try these tools?
I would say if you have trouble sleeping, try the long and a breath for 10, 10 times right before you go to sleep. You could even include I would say a forward fold, but it would depend on a lot of factors like how your back health is, just and maybe a seated forward fold in as a nighttime practice. If you have trouble sleeping, if you just want to try it, I would say take 3 breaths right before you get out of bed. Well, actually, maybe not before you get out of bed, but right before you are about to do something maybe stressful. So if you're about to go into your car and you know that driving stresses you out a little bit, take the 5 inhale, 10 exhale, 5 inhale, 10 exhale, 5 inhale, 10 exhale, and go about the next part of that activity that you're doing. You'll feel a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, especially if you have a bad boss and you don't want to yell at him. Try some of these de-stressing techniques and you're going to improve your
Right.
workday.
Oh, absolutely. Self regulation will improve all areas of your life.
Perfect. I think this was a perfect short little episode on and a little quick deep dive for how to de-stress. If you guys want to reach out to Joy, check her out on Instagram at SpiroJoy or online at joyrika.com. Joy, thank you so much for coming on the show. Hey, one more thing before you go. Are you looking for other folks who like to catch fish? Well, if you are, join our free fish catchers group on Discord. Just like a little club, just with like-minded people who like to catch fish, share knowledge. Just head over to castandspear.com/club for a link and it'll go straight over there. Whether you like to spearfish, surf fish, kayak fish, you name it. If you just like to catch fish, we want to chat. All right, see you guys in there.